All right, we're live.
Hey,
Yo,
hey,
Hey.
hi,
hey.
hi.
Paul, I
Yo.
believe you had a question for John you wanted to start the show off with.
Yeah, we were talking about it
We,
while
we
you
were in the
were.
middle of it while we were waiting on you.
Yeah, we're talking about Wii stuff. I hooked my Wii U
Oh,
back up
jeez.
so I could play some high definition Wii. It's the easier way than just hooking my Wii up, honestly. And
Yeah.
I have a list of games that I'm kind of keeping an eye out for locally. Like, obviously, I could, if I cared about spending the money or whatever, I could just order most of these, probably all of them. But I kind of like the thrill of the hunt. So we're just talking about games that might be recommended. And when you came back, we were in the middle of talking about Sakura Wars, So Long My Love, and how I've never seen that in a store before. And then, of course, he has a copy of it. It was like basically where that was, yeah. But yeah, I have a bunch of things on here that I'm excited to get to. The big one, I think, this isn't like a rare one. I'm going to give Mario Galaxy a try again because if I found it in my
Right.
heart to enjoy 64 on some level, if I just beat myself into submission where I'm just like, these controls are okay, I'll probably enjoy it more.
You could do the Switch version.
I could, but then I'd have to buy it again because
He already
I
has
just
it,
own
is what
this
he
one
said.
and it's ready to go. Like I just
Okay.
popped the disc in. Yeah.
Yep. It's good. Galaxy 2, also real good.
Yeah, that one I don't have because I didn't like Galaxy, so like why would I buy the second one? I would buy the
That's
second
fair.
one if I like the first one though.
That was why I recommended Galaxy 2 first, but if you have the first one but not the second, it makes way more sense to just go from there.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people like selling lots of Wii stuff and Galaxy 2's almost always there for like 10 to 20 bucks or whatever. People just trying to get rid of stuff. So that wouldn't be too hard to just pick up on a whim either.
Is Muscle March on your list of games to play?
He has to download that because he can't
Yeah.
buy it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, are you not doing anything downloadable?
I mean, I could, but I
Okay.
wasn't looking at that.
Is it because you've already played plenty of Muscle March?
You probably played it at your house, Sean.
Yeah. Oh,
That's where I played it originally.
and
So you're welcome, both of you.
the WarioWare games are on there as well, just to revisit those.
Oh yeah.
As I think I can't remember if we talked about it on this show or on the TDP Plus, which patrons can get access
Probably
to.
Plus.
I never did own that. My friend owned it, and I confirmed when I was looking through my Wii stuff and digging all that out that yeah, I do not have that. So
That's a real good one. Smooth Moves.
Smooth Moves specifically.
Yeah, considered one of the best.
Yeah. But a lot of Wii on the brain recently. That's what I've kind of been focusing my time on, digging some stuff out here. Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. Bought that the other day because that is Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're gonna be disappointed. That's like lower quality Dead Rising. So
Yeah, it's made
Are
by
you,
the...
are you just trying to find like weird Wii stuff? Because there's like a Dead Space.
No,
yeah,
I have
Dead
that.
Space Extraction's fun.
Yeah, it's
Oh, okay.
good. I actually have 2 copies of that. I have one for the Wii and for the PS3.
Okay, how about
I
the
forgot about
Conduit?
that.
The Conduit's
Oh,
on my list,
Conduit 1
actually.
and 2. Wow.
And
Yeah.
the Conduit 2, because that's the one that has like the crazy ending with like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington show up to help finish the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have... That's on my list as well. That one has been harder to find, I will say. Not many people have that one in their stuff they're trying to get rid of. I've noticed a lot of people bought like Sing It and Let's Dance. There's a lot of those just you can get everywhere.
Never a shortage of those.
No, they're everywhere.
Where exactly are you looking?
Kijiji.
Sounds like Kijiji.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Which
Makes
I
sense.
guess if you're not Canadian, it's like Craigslist.
It's like Craigslist,
essentially.
but less attempts at trying to elicit sex.
Yeah, less horny for sure. Not fully, but less.
No,
Well, there's just less
No such
people, so
thing
maybe
as
the
none.
percentage is still the same.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's cool. John, you did a Rocket League stream on the
Yes.
weekend. I want to hear the highlights, the lowlights, how that went.
We did that. That was Saturday afternoon, this past Saturday. We were paired up, 8 influencers in blind groups. They tried to balance it out as best they could, where they had like someone who had played the game before with someone who didn't play it that much. I guess they knew I did not play it since 2015 because they paired me up with the #3 Canadian player, like
Nice.
the third best Canadian player in Canada. And I'm scared to see #1 and 2 if he was #3. Because
Did you
holy
like?
crap.
Did you not play against them, or were they not part of the tournament?
No, they were on my team. It was 2v2. Sorry. #2 and #1 weren't part of it. Like this, we're like literally like so. Corrupted Gabe or Corrupted G was my teammate. He's a Rocket League streamer and coach, and yeah, he said he'd played 11,000 hours of the game.
That's
So like
what?
a
What are you
lot,
doing?
and it
That's a lot.
shows because my God, it was impressive to watch.
Okay.
But we made it to the finals. It was double elimination. But it wasn't true double elimination with a bracket reset. It was you go up a game if you're the winning side. So we had to win 2 more games to win a best of 5, but the other team had to win 3. And unfortunately, on the final match, when it was tied up 2-2, we went to overtime, and they won it in overtime. So
How
like
many
I
goals
was
did you get?
2, maybe 3, and he got 50.
Sure.
It was scary good, dude. Scary good.
11,000 hours. I would hope he would be scary good. I would be I
Yeah.
would be disappointed if he wasn't scary good.
Yeah, no, I practiced as best I could, but there was no way I would get good enough to like be major support on that team. I was definitely the weakest link by far. But I feel like by the end, I think I was starting to hold my own a little bit. But yeah, that was ridiculous. But it was fun though, and money got
Yeah.
raised for charity, so that's the
I was gonna
important
say,
thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
for charity, so like who even cares? And put on by 7-Eleven of all
7-Eleven
places.
Canada of all places, yeah. And apparently they're doing like another thing later this month. They're doing an actual proper tournament that people can enter, and whoever wins it, they get flown out to I think London for the Commonwealth Games. So they get like if you win the Canadian tournament, you can actually go travel to London for the
Okay,
Commonwealth
but is it
tournament.
London, England, or London, Ontario?
London, England. It is actually across the pond.
Okay, that's cool. Did they send you any like Slurpee coupons?
No, apparently there was rumors we might have gotten like some free delivery from 7-Eleven while this was going on, but that fell through, I guess. So
Bummer.
That's very silly if that had actually happened. Like midstream Slurpee
midstream,
delivery.
yeah, just go get a 7-Eleven Slurpee. There you go.
If only I'd be playing better if only I had a nice cold Pepsi Slurpee in my hand.
To be fair,
You
they
guys
didn't
get
ask us. We had no copy we had to read. This is the thing that surprised me. While it was sponsored, we had no copy to read. They asked us to put stuff on the screen. That was it, and like put like chatbot commands. We did not have to say anything about 7-Eleven or like any like here's a line they want you to read. It was surprisingly smooth. Probably because we were just the side feeds for people to watch, and the main feed was running actual ads for 7-Eleven and stuff like that.
Okay, I was gonna say
Uh,
maybe it's because 7-Eleven Canada thinks they're so baller. They don't need any ad read. They're just like people are gonna get a Slurpee regardless of how well you guys do. You know,
yeah.
7-Eleven Day coming up in 3 months.
You're
Yep.
counting down the days? Sounds like you are.
I can't even remember the last time I had a Slurpee. Honestly, I don't even know if I've gotten one when I'm in the States. Probably
I was
not.
gonna say I never hear anything good about 7-Eleven in the U.S. I've been in them; they're all right, but like usually when I
They,
ask an American friend about 7-Eleven, they never say anything nice about it.
I mean, I think they're the same as far as I know.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, they're the same. Anyway, that's cool. I'm trying to think if I had anything as cool as you guys in the last week. I started getting my India vaccinations. I got 4 shots in 1 day.
Oh,
Trying to think if I
awesome.
did something cool. I'm getting ready to go travel to another continent.
Well, that's not for like half a year, but I'm just saying I got all the needles and so like 2 in both arms, so like my shoulders are
Ooh,
sore.
ooh.
Last night I was very fatigued.
Yeah.
You know,
At least
fighting off.
they let you split it up between the two arms, so you just not have one super dead one. It balanced
Well,
out.
so that's the question. I mean, I didn't get the option, but should I have done that? Because then I would have had one like totally fine arm. Or
The thing is, I
two
think your
half
arm
fine.
at that point kind of swells up and like starts hurting even more from it. So I think it's better that they split it up.
Mm.
To counter that though, as a side sleeper, if they
Yeah.
had just done one arm,
Ooh.
I could have
Yeah.
slept on my side, but
Okay.
last night I couldn't. I had to
Good
sleep on
point,
my
good
back
point.
because both sides were just out of the question. But anyways, I'm immune to everything now. Like, just come at
Congratulations.
me as
All
far as I'm
right,
concerned.
grab my gun. Hang on.
Yeah, the bullets one. As you know, India full of bullets and stuff. So, yeah, that's been my week. But why don't we talk about some video games? Because this is the Top Down Perspective for April 14th. And I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
I don't even have the podcast notes open. So, Paul, have you been playing anything?
Nothing in particular. I guess I started Final Fantasy 14 up again, so I've been doing Heaven's Ward DLC stuff or expansion stuff. Nothing crazy to talk about there, though.
Okay, cool. And you're just continuing from where you left off, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
All right. Well, John?
Elden Ring doesn't fucking end, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
I'm there with you.
unfortunately
Where you
not
at
true.
now?
It ended for me and I'm empty.
I got 2 files running again, but one's not running while Reese is gone. She's currently away visiting her mom and her brother. The file with her, Paul, I might need you to clarify this. I think we got to the Halig tree a little too early.
Well,
We got
that.
Well, I also heard that area just sucks ass, and
That-
I can see why they say that.
That area sucks ass, and that end boss is so cool, but bad. That's a bad boss.
I keep hearing that. Like I've seen who it is because the internet's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, well, we're just running around in the snow area before it, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Because I assume once we get to the actual Halig tree, it's like, oh, here's a whole new area. It's not just like, oh, here's that boss.
Sure. You could consider it like a full, large dungeon type area.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're running around outside of that in like the hallowed snowfield or whatever it's called, where you can't see shit.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I gotta say this last quarter of the game or whatever it is, I'm not feeling it, man. It's just not. It's not fun. It's slipping back in that not fun range where it's just like everything feels super tanky. Everything feels like a super powerful enemy that just kind of shreds you. So it's been interesting going back to my melee file and being like, I'm having a great time. Nothing's fucking me up. Hooray!
It's funny because I think I was definitely part of the chorus at the beginning that's just like, oh, this is easily the easiest Elden Ring, totally accessible to people, and then the end fucked me for 20 hours straight.
Ooh, okay. If you're saying that, then it's gonna be
The ending
miserable.
it's rough. Like some of those end bosses, I will say that the hardest bosses are the side ones. Like if you just do the
That's
main
what I
ones,
figured. Like the Halig tree is not needed, right? It's just a side area.
it's a side area and it's kind of miserable. It's kind of miserable. That end boss took me 3 days to get through. Like that, a lot of my time was that 3 sessions. Yeah. But like the story bosses, they're fine. And especially after doing that area, it's just like, oh man, story's like kind of built normally, huh?
Yeah.
Like this is kind
so
of
I
normal.
can go. Okay, so here's the thing. It doesn't let you copy your file, so you can't like get one ending, then reload another file and get the next, right? Like I would have to do a new game plus.
So as a PC gamer, I definitely was able to do that. Yes.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
I know on Xbox you can like mess with cloud saves
Jesus.
in some capacity to do that.
There is, yeah. If you look online, I'm pretty sure people have like devised ways, but there is literally a save spot like right before which ending you choose, and that's just the one that you'll do it at, if you can.
Yeah, because I hate that there's like 5 endings and you have to play through the entire game again to get the number 2 or whatever. Which is
if it makes you feel better, there's 6. 3 of them are kind of throwaway.
All Never mind. I thought there were only 5.
Yeah, 3 of them are kind of throwaway because they're essentially the same ending with different text and colors with different lore. But there's 3 that you... Yes, there's 3. Like, actual endings.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. My melee file just finished up. Lindell just got told we got to go to the mountaintop, so that one's heading to the mountaintop now.
Okay. Like for the story progression stuff.
For story progression, yeah, and like everything else, as far as I am aware of, every other dungeon that I can currently access has been done.
If you're doing Haligtree before the mountaintop, you are there pretty early. I will say you are there.
So the magic file, it was doing mountaintop. Got the Castle Soul, wrapped that up, and was like, oh, we've got access to this. Should we go see how it is? And we went there right before we wrapped up for the night, and we were just like, oh, this sucks.
So Haligtree and that boss is like, when I finished that boss, I finished the game afterwards. It was literally the last side thing I did.
Yeah, so I've been following, like, on the wiki, there's like here's like our pseudo-recommended order of operations. And we were doing like the underground sewer area for the city at first.
Yep.
And then they're like, yeah, no, we recommend doing that before the end of the game, like right before. I'm like, oh, okay. And they recommended Haligtree a little bit earlier, so I'm like, I guess we'll try it.
Yeah, you could, either one of those is fine right before the end of the game, I would say.
Yeah,
because the sewer one helps with an ending, and the Haligtree's just hard. Yeah. Without getting into spoilers.
Yeah.
At Mount Gelmir.
Yeah, Mount Gelmir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That place is all right.
That is the start of the decline into madness.
It really is. It really is. It's just like, yeah, this is where after this is just really shit. Huh? Yeah.
I doubt I'm going to experience most of that because every time I get to a dungeon, I'm running it co-op.
Oh, then you'll probably have a better time than... Like, I didn't find any of the Mount Gelmir stuff really bad for either file, per se. But it's also, like, you can tell, like, after this is just when it kind of starts getting bad.
Yeah. It definitely feels like if there is an end of, like, end game area, it definitely feels the beginning of end game.
Yeah. So I was doing Gelmir before the capital, and then it's just like, oh yeah, we need you to go take out like this specific target. It's way past the capital, so you have to finish the capital to even do it. I'm like, oh, okay. Guess I'll go do that and come back and murder you later.
Did you fight Rodan? I don't remember.
Yeah, General Rodan. Yeah. No,
okay.
We've done that whole storyline.
Okay.
Both times we fought them, it was during the debuff because I noticed he got rebuffed apparently. And that fight was really fun when it was debuffed. Like, I thought that was a great fight and probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I forgot they debuffed that. Yeah, that makes sense because it's weird that they rebuffed him because that fight is unbalanced.
Yeah, apparently they're like, yeah, it was a mistake. We didn't mean to do this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Aren't you able to do New Game Plus to get the other endings? You can, but
totally.
I don't want to play through another file, even if it's New Game Plus. Because like so I'm new to Souls-likes. So what happens when you do a New Game Plus? Like, the enemies are harder, right?
Yeah, it's basically just like you play the game again at your current level with most of your items, and enemies are scaled accordingly.
I mean, yeah, that does not sound interesting to me personally. Like,
yeah, it's weird because with Elden Ring specifically, I think a lot of my enjoyment of it was the exploration and like not knowing what I'm doing. I have found New Game Plus 2 being like, I know everything, where everything is. So like that part of the game is gone for me. And now I'm just doing a bunch of refights, essentially. Some of which are some of which were fun the first time because I didn't know them. And now are just like, I don't want to fight this guy again. Like, this guy just sucks. There's nothing fun about it, and I'm not going to get anything cool out of it. Why am I doing this? So yeah, it has less replay for me personally, I think, than the others.
Yeah. And I'm getting to the point where the exploration part's starting to dwindle, so it's just like,
yeah.
This was the part I loved the most.
Yeah. I didn't find it fun looking around in empty snow. I live in Canada. Like an empty snowfield
Yeah.
is not engaging.
When they start like putting like here's areas you literally can't see anything in, just good luck. I'm like, oh come on, man.
Yeah.
You could stop playing. Like you got a good chunk of the game
I've
done.
spent 200
Yeah.
hours on this game. If I don't see the ending, I may actually throw something.
No, and I totally get that. Like, I'm not saying. I mean, I would finish the game, but if you're getting to a point where you dislike it, you can just stop and be like, I'm content. I had a good time with what I played.
I mean, the thing is, like, I'm playing through with Reese, so no matter what, we want to see the ending of the game.
Yeah.
Reese is enjoying the lore, and I am enjoying the lore.
And you should see the
I just
Halleck
have
tree
the
through.
I just have the added baggage of being the one playing the game.
Sure. You should see the Halleck tree area through, even if you don't end up finishing that final boss, but I know you will. Because that final boss is one that people talk about.
I know, I
area.
can see why from all the art I've been seeing on the internet.
Yeah, it's one that people talk about, and so you should have the ability to weigh in on that, because that boss is so close to being one of the best fights in all of Souls history, but is like marred by bad bullshit design.
I have heard that boss has a specific move that is just absolute horseshit.
Yep, I still don't know how to dodge it.
Almost every post I've seen about that fight is like, hey, I beat her because she didn't use this specific move.
That the one time I beat her, she didn't use it. Yeah,
Good game design.
I still don't know how to properly like. I've dodged it before, just like freaking out and praying, and that's worked sometimes, but I don't know how to do it consistently.
Did you see that post that was going around on, I think it was the Elden Ring subreddit, of the one guy called like "Let Me Solo Her"?
Yeah.
It specifically is a dude who apparently just like logs into the game, sets himself up for multiplayer and like to be invited to other people's games just to fight that boss by himself.
Yeah,
and apparently he no hit. He doesn't get hit at all. Apparently it's like super impressive to watch.
Yeah,
Honestly, thank you, sir. Thank you for helping out. Us peons. Like what a gem of a human.
Yeah.
It's great.
There's a bunch of people that if you're good with parry timings and stuff, you can learn that fight and honestly just never get hit again, because she is essentially just a big sword fight boss. I'm not good with parry timings in that game, or like I'm okay at best in anything. So I'm not going to waste my time doing all that stuff myself.
Cool. Good Elden Ring update. I'm sure we'll have a few more of those as the year goes on.
As the year goes on. Because the game just keeps going.
That's all I've been playing, John.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've been continuing with Kirby, which I'm happy to say, as I play more of it, I like it more and more.
Okay.
I am now into the 5th or 6th world. Oh, hang on. So the haunted place is the 3rd. Snow is 4th. So I guess I'm in the 5th world now. I think a lot of those levels start getting like really like cool visually of like where they're setting you up and like what the environment is. Like instead of it being like a snowy level, it's like a broken down deserted city during a blizzard that you're like going through, and there's like cool shots of like just it being barren, and they're looking up at a big skyscraper that you're walking through. Like there's kind of like weird cinematic moments for Kirby going on. And then some of the little like side games that you come across in like a hidden alley or whatever, those have been like pretty fun. Even the little like bonus stars you can get, which at the beginning they're just kind of like nonsense time attack fights. Those get more interesting too when you take them on to be like, oh, I'm going to use mouthful mode specifically in this one. So you're doing like a weird jumping puzzle as the pipe Kirby, or as the car one, you're doing like a really fast race where you have to take every weird shortcut to get it done. So it definitely gets a lot more interesting. The music also gets real great. Again, I'm primarily playing it when I'm on the train, so I'm not hearing the music, but the few times I do either have my headphones in or I'm playing a little bit at home, the music is like really good. So this is definitely up there for sure. I'm I'm constantly being surprised and impressed with some of the cool stuff I'm liking from this game. It gets better as you go, which is great to hear, I think.
Cool. I should start
Yeah,
that at some
I'm
point.
glad to hear that because I actually started it on stream last week, and
Mhm.
I've noticed the last couple Kirby games I've played, like the beginning area, always just feels kind of so
Yeah.
it didn't get its claws into me at the beginning.
Yeah, the first one, it was just like, yeah, this is fine, but like it's not grabbing me in any way. And it
Yeah.
probably didn't help that I was playing it at right the same time as Elden Ring, which definitely was grabbing me.
Mm.
The second area gets a little more interesting, but as soon as that third area hit, it was like, oh, this is getting like really cool now. And like the last few areas and bosses and levels I've been in, I'm really into. So I do think it gets better if you go into it.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
also
figured.
the fact that you can upgrade all of Kirby's abilities into like a level 2 and a level 3. Like the fire one goes from regular fire Kirby to you have like a volcano on your head, and I just upgraded it again. Now it's like dragon fire Kirby, where I shoot like pink and purple flames, and I can do like a fireball wing attack thing. Like it's pretty cool. All the unique ways they're like upgrading Kirby and stuff. So it's actually kind of fun to go do the little side stuff that normally I would have skipped. But I want to see all these new upgrades and whatnot. So yeah, no, definitely play more, John. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised where it goes.
And like I said, the last few Kirby games have felt that same way with me. Of like the starts just kind of, and then like by the end, I know with Star Allies, I specifically felt I only really got into it by like the final world.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
I can't
wondering
speak
how
to
this one
Star
paces.
Allies.
Yeah,
I definitely skipped that one. Actually, I skipped the last couple. I don't think I've played a Kirby game since Triple Deluxe, but that was a
I
good one.
liked Robobot was great. Like that was the last one I enjoyed a lot was Robobot.
I heard a lot of good things about Robot. I didn't get to play that one. But yeah, I think this might be the best Kirby from the ones I've played.
Wow.
I think this might be the best one, and maybe it's because it's just very Super Mario 3D World, which I like that game. But I think this might be my favorite Kirby game. Though Air Ride is pretty good, but that's kind of its own thing. So
Sure. Yeah.
Strong words.
I finished up playing Norco,
Okay.
and I talked about Norco a little bit last week,
hmm
and holy shit, the places Norco goes, you got to play Norco. Like
Yeah. Somebody actually tweeted me a few weeks ago, and they're just like, I don't know if you've checked it out, but Norco might be one of the best games of this year that nobody's talking
Norco
about.
is crazy. I need to find this tweet that I read that I sent to a friend of how they described Norco because it is so perfect.
hmm
But Norco, so if you didn't hear last week, it's a point and click adventure game. It's on PC Game Pass. Otherwise, I think it's like $15. It might even still be on sale because it just came out. Where's that tweet? Okay, here's the description of Norco. Blade Runner if Harrison Ford hung out with juggalos and got in fistfights in front of the 7-Eleven.
And he would.
Like it's like a weirdly serious game, but then some of the actual nonsense that people like say to you or that you talk to people and the characters say to one another is ridiculous. There's like a weird cult while everyone's wearing like Best Buy uniforms and everyone's name has to be Garrett. And that's just it. They're the Garretts. And like there's like weird like moon spirit demons and giant melting bird things. Here's a few PSAs. If you talk to a guy who you fed a bad hot dog to, make sure you exhaust the dialogue. He will keep giving you outs to be like, "You sure you want to hear the story?" Let me tell you, you want to hear the story because when he
Okay.
gets into it, that dude has had one of the worst days of his entire life because of that hot dog you fed him.
Okay.
It is like it starts off, I'd say the first like third, maybe 1 to 2 hours, it doesn't seem like it's a goofy adventure game. But then like the seriousness and and tied with how goofy it actually is kind of amplifies how goofy it gets. It is worth it. Poke around everywhere. Almost look up a guide so you don't miss out on some of this stuff. I will say, I'm seeing someone in the chat. The detective is my favorite character. He's hilarious. That is 100% true. This guy's great. I got to tell you, when you get to the third act, he has a makeup case on his desk I'm gonna spoil one thing for you guys, and it's a side option. I'm gonna spoil one thing.
Okay.
If you click on the makeup case enough, eventually he will paint his face like a clown.
Okay.
And then every character at that point that you talk to will ask, "Why do you look like a clown?" And he will just brush it off like, "Yo, it's a style." And then it'll go into the actual dialogue. Or he'll be like, "Don't worry about it. That's just me." And then he'll go into the actual dialogue. Like he is just justified. It's cool to be looking like a clown. Also, he says bruh. He refers to everyone as bruh. Norco is something special, and I cannot recommend it enough. So again, Game Pass PC. Otherwise, I think it's like $12 to $15 on Steam. It is like a 6-hour long game. Stick with it. It goes to some really fun places.
It has an 88 on Metacritic right now. Like, people that play it love it. So
Yeah, I feel like it's this kind of like gem that like not enough people are talking about, but I have a feeling come time like Game of the Year time, it's going to be on a lot of people's like lists. Those who did play it, obviously.
sure.
Ranked the third best PC game of 2022.
Right?
Wow.
Like, the way people talk about this thing is insane.
The only things ranked higher than it that are on PC are Elden Ring and God of War.
God of War.
There you go.
There, yeah.
There you go.
Good company.
And then on the other side of enjoyable point-and-click adventure games, I started Chinatown Detective Agency.
Yeah, I'm not interested in this one at all.
I was very interested in this. I've been looking forward to it for a little bit. I love the style and the look of it.
Okay.
It's on Game Pass,
Yeah.
console and PC.
Yeah.
You have to input stuff on it with a text inputter. So I immediately was like, well, I'm switching to the PC to play this.
Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah.
What's interesting about this game, though, and they even kind of give you a pop-up and say, hey, this game is hard. You are going to need a web browser to search up the hints we give you to figure out the clues and the answers to these puzzles and such.
Man, that could go definitely either way of like, I'm totally going to do that because that's an interesting thing, or fuck this game, I'm out.
Well, it's going to come down to personal preference.
Totally.
Of like, do you like kind of like doing research and stuff like that? For example, they'll give you like, hey, I need you to deliver this stamp. And you're
Yeah.
looking at the stamp and you're like, oh, I don't know where the stamp is from. And you're looking at any kind of words you can decipher and you're typing that into a web browser to be like, okay, so these stamps are from this country, but they only made them during this year. And all that information is going to be useful for you and how to narrow down where you need to send this stamp and stuff like that. So if you like puzzle solving, you might like it. The problem is I didn't get too far into it because I encountered a really weird scenario.
Okay.
In the game, you are globetrotting.
Okay.
And the way the mechanic works is you need to purchase a plane ticket to the city you're going to. And then there's like a day and night cycle. You need to go to the airport 3 hours before your flight to board the plane and go there.
Sure.
So I bought a plane ticket, realized, oh crap, I bought it for actually like this morning or something. I didn't read like the 24-hour clock correctly.
Okay.
So I was like, crap, I got to buy a new flight. I accidentally changed the month and bought a flight for a month from now as opposed to a day from now.
Okay.
The only way to speed up time,
Mhm.
because you are not allowed to buy more than one flight, is to click the wait button and click up 1 hour at a time.
Can you like refund the ticket or
No,
something?
Not that I found.
This seems like a
so
problem.
instead of me saying, well, I'm not going to click up one for a month's long like worth of hours, I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. That's insane. So I was like, well, I'll close out the game. Maybe I had an autosave like just before this or something like that.
Mhm.
Game only autosaves every time you finish a mission. I lost like 30 minutes of a mission, like half a mission. I was just like, nope, that didn't happen.
For what it's worth, you might have saved yourself 30 minutes of clicking a button to change it to up to
I guess
a
in
month.
the long run, but at that point I was just like, I'm not doing that mission again. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to play this game. It was just such a like a bad experience, and it
Yeah.
was totally my fault. But I also think the game should have had an option. Like,
Totally.
let me buy a different ticket.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to tell you. Come on. Anyway, so don't be like me. Make sure you know which one is the day and which one is the month. Maybe that's my fault for being a Canadian who lives in the States and never knowing which one they're talking about.
No, it's definitely the game's fault for not giving the player an out for something that could easily have been a misclick. Even.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. So, anyways, if anyone knows, I was gonna say if anyone knows a way to get around that, like maybe you can discard the ticket. I don't even care at this point because it started me back at the beginning of the mission, so that's not gonna help me out.
Sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Listening to you describe this, I thought you were playing "Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego" because it really was
It's kind of
yeah.
like that.
describing
Yeah,
that.
it's a little bit like that.
It kind of
for
sounds
sure.
like it, yeah.
Anyways, those are the games I've been playing. So why don't we talk about some news? And this first one, I'm hoping John can help us out with as the Kingdom Hearts correspondent.
Oh God, yeah, I watched this.
Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced, and can I just say, one out of nowhere, and two with like the littlest fanfare. Like I would have assumed this would have been like a monumental.
Oh, because they are
E3 level
nowhere
announcement.
near ready releasing this. They gave release dates for the other two games they announced in this segment. They did not give one for the third one.
I still feel like this is the like E3 press conference. Oh, hang on, we have one more thing, and then they drop
Well,
this.
this was the 20th anniversary for Kingdom Hearts, I think, is what
Yeah.
this event was. So
think
that's why
so.
they did it.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was in Japan, so maybe it was like a bigger deal on whatever live stream was going on. But I kind of just woke up and was like, "Oh wow, that they announced that, huh? All right." John, you've played every Kingdom Hearts known to man.
No, I've not.
What's the thoughts?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
The trailer shows them in like real life Tokyo.
Okay.
It's not real life, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's more photorealistic and like it looks all right. Like I'm sure it'll be fun. If it's a core Kingdom Hearts game, that means it's just gonna have the core gameplay, which is usually fun.
I
But
was hearing a lot of discourse about feet. More discourse than like your daily feet discourse.
yeah.
This was
So
like
Sora is
ridiculous.
wearing normal sneakers, no giant clown shoes, no Disney style shoes. It is regular ass sneakers.
Oh, okay.
And people were surprisingly upset about this.
See,
Oh.
the last time someone went from clown shoes to not having clown shoes, it was like, Sideshow Bob, Krusty the
Yeah.
Clown, and
Yeah.
like that led to like this guy was trying to murder a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Like, there's no fucking way it's coming out in the next 2 years. There's no way.
Now that I'm thinking about it,
Like they even said right now they're developing an Unreal Engine 4, but they're moving it to 5 when 5 comes out.
Well,
Disney owns The Simpsons now. Yes. All the money.
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow
I know
Bob.
some
Yeah. I'm with you on this one.
some people were speculating that because it's at least the part they've showed is in the real world, that there might be a situation where they work in either Star Wars or the Avengers.
Or real life 3D Homer.
Yeah, or real life 3D Homer.
Wow, we are not getting off this one, huh?
No, he does not want to leave.
Well, that's what I thought you were going with. So that was on you.
No, I was not. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. They also announced I think it was a new DLC for Kingdom Hearts Key, the mobile game, and oh shoot, was it a new mobile game where you're like playing as a I don't even remember the middle
People
one.
said the new mobile game was announced.
Yeah. There was a new mobile game, there was DLC for or the next chapter for Kingdom Hearts Key, and then the Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced.
Yeah, that's right. The final
All
chapter, right? Like that
For Key, yeah, it looked
Key.
like.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 4, as we should probably state, is starting a new story arc. This is specifically labeled as the Lost Master arc, I believe.
Okay.
Oh yeah, of course that makes sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know what that means.
There's still like, Organization 13 and all that jazz, but like Xehanort currently doesn't appear to be in it. So maybe we'll get spared that now.
I'm going to assume all those words in that sequence mean something, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you excited for more Kingdom Hearts, or were you like, they tied a good bow on this? Like, let's put it to bed. Let them rest.
I don't think the bow they tied on it was a good bow, if you want me to
Okay.
be honest.
I
But
do.
they would have to tweak the ending a little bit because the 3 ends on a cliffhanger, and then there's DLC, and I haven't looked at the DLC, but I've also heard that also is a cliffhanger. Then I've also heard there's a segment in the rhythm game that also plays into where the story currently is going. So I'm just like, okay, I'm walking away. But yeah, I'm sure I'll play it when it comes out. I'm sure the gameplay will be fun.
Sure.
Okay, make the prediction now. What year does it come out? And we'll revisit this because we're gonna obviously remember.
24 or 25.
Yeah, I'm
You gotta
thinking
pick one.
2025.
You gotta pick one because someone's
If
gonna
I'm
listen
picking,
to
if I'm
this.
picking one, 25.
Yeah,
Okay. And
I agree.
Paul.
Yeah, 25 for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna say 26.
Okay, that's
Right now,
yeah.
Okay, so what is currently in Square's pipeline right now? Final Fantasy 16, Dragon Quest 12, and this, right? Those are the big three. I thought there was a big fourth one they were also working on, but those are the three hugest ones I can think of. Long length games they're working on. So like, and is Nomura on
say-
any of those at the
Like,
moment other than 7
Are we
Remake
not,
2?
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we not counting like whatever they're doing with remake after part 2 comes out, and whatever little things they release with it, probably.
I mean, what about
I
Avengers 2
mean, that's Crystal Dynamics, assuming it's happening again.
and Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I meant core Square Enix team, like literally the
Yeah.
actual thing.
Stop Foe 2.
Anyways, Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced.
It did. Another announcement, CD Projekt Red came out with a bit of a roadmap of what Cyberpunk is up to, and the big news was that they have confirmed an expansion for Cyberpunk is coming in 2023.
Yeah, it was apparently.
Did they ever fix the game?
From what I understand, it's in a pretty good spot at the moment.
Yeah, I think the
Like
answer
next
is
gen,
yes.
Or I guess the current gen versions came out like last month.
Yes. Yeah, and they've been patching it, but yeah, they had like a investors call or something, and that's why they had to kind of lay out what they're doing, and that's they're talking
Phantom
about.
H in the chat drops Quiet Man 2. Gotta mention that.
Yep.
So maybe that's gonna kind of slow Kingdom Hearts down a little bit.
Probably.
We can only hope.
Sure.
Much like Ghost of Tsushima, the movie has a writer, and we can hope it's going to be good.
Who's the writer?
The writer is Takashi Dosher, who has
Okay.
made nothing I've ever heard about.
Cool. Sorry, I'm looking him up right now.
But okay, I mean, this seems like a slam dunk. It'll be a samurai movie, and like it's a game based on samurai movies that's now going to get a movie for it. Like this just seems like okay, it'll just be a samurai movie. Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that this movie exists, and it was made by Kurosawa 100 years ago.
There's plenty of these. Like it's referencing a lot of samurai movies for sure. I mean, hey, if it's a good samurai movie, like I'm not going to say no to that. There are worse games you can make a movie out of.
And they have and are. So yes, agreed.
Accurate. Bug Snacks got a release date on not only the other console versions of it, but the Big Snacks, the Isle of Big Snacks.
Yeah.
To be precise. April 28th. It's going to come to Switch, Steam, and Xbox. It's going to be on Game Pass. And all versions will be getting the Isle of Big Snacks for free included with that. I understand this takes place before the end of the game.
Of course, that makes sense. There's no way it makes sense the other way. So
I don't know. They left it at a cliffhanger. Like they could do more, right? Are you guys ready to go back and get some Big Snacks on?
Yeah, for sure. I was excited to see this.
What about you, John?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad it's like the characters they picked are some of my favorite ones out of the cast, because I think they said it's specifically focused on 4 of them. But I was also pretty done with the game. Like I felt like it didn't really need anything extra.
Sure, understandable. I think I'm gonna go back to it. I might pick it up and play through it on Xbox to the new stuff.
What I'm happy about is that the thing I liked from Bugsnax to begin with were the like boss fights and the bigger ones. So I'm kind of hoping there's just a couple more of those that this does with the big snacks or whatever.
I just gotta hang out with my bro, Bunger. Bunger.
Maybe there's a giant bunger.
They already showed it. There's a big bunger.
Hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What isn't great? We got our weekly Activision update.
Oh yeah, this piece of shit. I read this earlier today.
This is a weird one.
Yeah.
I'll read the tweet here from Jason Schreier. In an explosive allegation, one of the lawyers behind the Activision Blizzard discrimination suit says California Governor Gavin Newsom is interfering to support Activision and that he abruptly fired her boss. She is resigning in protest. So basically, the two lead lawyers on the case have been fired / resigned. Because my governor is stepping in and siding with Activision. I was reading through the article, kind of as it went on, as it was ongoing, they were kind of interfering more and more, and when things were looking poor for Activision, that's when they started like slowing things down, interfering in a favoring toward Activision. And the big question is like, what does our governor have to do with Activision at all? This is a weird one.
It's not weird at all. Money,
Nope.
White guys with money. What do you mean?
Sure. That's definitely a connection for sure. I'm wondering if there's more of a connection than that. Like, I can't imagine it's just like, hey, we look similar. I'm gonna help you out, man.
No, they're obviously part of a boys club, like helping each other
maybe
out.
there's a
for
secret
sure.
boys club.
100%.
Well, that actually reminds me of another news story.
Oh no.
Anyways, that was just a weird thing to see because it was just like a weird connection of like I wasn't expecting Gavin Newsom to get involved. It's like, what does he have to do with anything? Anyways, this last one, tangentially related to video games. Randy Pitchford bought Hollywood's Magic Castle.
Oh my god.
What?
Have you guys? I hadn't heard about the Magic Castle until this week. Are you familiar?
The Magic Castle, no.
So for those who don't know what the Magic Castle is, it is an institution in LA.
I just
Oh
looked it
no!
up.
That
This is so good.
No
magicians.
This is so
No.
You can only go to it if you're invited. So there will be magical performances. There will be magicians that will go on stage and do their act and stuff to like-minded folk. You can only go to these if you're invited by a magician or if you know someone who has some kind of magician connection. Anyway, it'd been a family-run business for like 60 years or something, and it was closing down over the course of the pandemic, and it was actually just going to get turned into like condos. It was going to get demolished, and condos were going to go there. Randy Pitchford stepped in because he's got that claptrap money. Bought up the place and plans to just keep it as is, as a cultural monument. So, I guess big W for the magicians out there.
Sure.
The question going around though is like, what is hiding there that Randy Pitchford had to buy so no one else was able to unearth?
I don't know, but I will tell you, if you go to their site, there is a dress code on what you need to wear if you go.
I mean, if you read the rest of this article, Penn and Teller are like, yeah, I've known Randy Pitchford for years. He loves magic. I believe Randy's heart is in magic.
Yeah, I mean, they showed up as voice actors in some of the games, or one of them did, I guess. The other one was his likeness was in there, I guess, because he doesn't talk, right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Paul, what's the dress code? Does it say?
Are we going in the evening or the daytime? Because there are two different dress codes here.
Well, I'm gonna double dip, obviously.
All right. Well, if you're going down during the day, you can just go with casual dress pants. Example, capris or khakis. Dress shirt or sports shirt with a collar. Dresses and skirts. A sports coat and sports coats and ties are not required as a general rule, but they might be for a special event. So just be sure you keep abreast of what you're going there for.
Just have a tie in your pocket just in case.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole bunch of ties in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And dress shoes, of course, with socks if you're wearing trousers. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things you cannot wear there. And sweatshirts and hoodies are like specifically called out. Apparently that is not okay. So your David Blaine's and Chris Angels and stuff probably are not allowed to. This is hilarious.
I bet they are allowed to.
This is hilarious because the way this is worded is that they very much want you to dress like the standard show magician in a tuxedo, like for the nighttime stuff or whatever, and that's pretty
Oh,
great.
really?
So,
Okay.
evening wear. Ravishing dresses, evening gowns, or pantsuits with a matching blazer. Embellished evening dress, jumpsuits, formal wear, example tuxedos. Business or evening suit complete with dress shirt and tie. Dress pants paired with complementing blazer or sports jacket and a collared dress shirt and tie. Or banded collar shirt fully buttoned to the neck, at the neck, and dress shoes as again. So like they definitely want an upper class look in the evening.
Sure. I'm not surprised. It makes sense. Anyway, that was just tangentially related to video games. People don't remember Randy Pitchford is the head of Gearbox. Or I guess he's the head of like movie production of Gearbox now or whatever's going on.
Yeah, I
He's
can't
doing a bunch of
remember.
Yeah,
stuff.
he shifted away from game development.
Dude loves magic, and every now and then he has porn on a USB stick that gets out. So maybe there's a bunch of USB sticks that he had to hide in the basement there or something. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
Magic Castle, I had not known about this, and hearing you need like an invite, and there's like a secret society of magicians out there. Like, the world is a weird place.
It's pretty great.
Okay, that's it for news. Let's do some questions. If you would like to send in a question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And I can read this first one from Matthew. You're challenged to go on a diet of vitamin and mineral supplements, protein powder, water, and plain white bread. Essentially, you're only eating the most basic nutrients. How long do you think you'd be able to tolerate this diet?
I mean, no. A day, maybe.
A day?
Plain
You'd
white
break
bread.
after a day?
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
I think I could probably do a week.
A week?
But I would definitely miss like all the taste. Like I can do pretty damn plain taste, and that would be very, very plain taste. But I think I would miss just the texture of like my favorite foods too much.
Sure. What's so hard for you, Paul? What are you thinking when you're looking at this?
I mean, I don't care enough about whatever this is for to do it. Like,
Okay.
if somebody's like, I challenge you to do this, I would just be like, no. Like,
Okay, but I mean, this is like a hypothetical scenario where we're having fun. So like, let's play in the space a little bit.
yeah, a day. I tried
Okay.
it. I did it for a day.
I think I could do this. I'm pretty good at eating like the exact same food every single day forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if when we get to the eventual future of like take your like food pill and you're good to go, I could do that. I think I could do that. What I think will really break it for me though is plain white bread. I think is just sucks. If I could at least get like some kind of flavor on that bread, like if you would allow me to alter this a bit and say I can have bread with peanut butter on it, just so I have some flavor.
Oh, yeah. No, that's against it.
Then I could do it forever.
Forever? Okay.
I'm telling you, I could do it forever. It's because it's not so much an issue of like I'm gonna miss so much other stuff. It's just an issue of like just eating plain white bread is just gonna physically suck.
Yeah, of course it is. Plain white bread is the worst.
Like if you like, just give me a sauce. Don't give me like ketchup. I'm not gonna have a ketchup sandwich. I'm not an animal. But give me some kind of thing to flavor that bread, and I'm good to go.
Sure. BGC Kenny writes, if you manage to find a mechanic or some other thing that breaks the game and makes it easy, is the game itself considered easy, even if not using the broken mechanic makes the game difficult?
Isn't this literally the description of like Soulsborne?
It's
like the people who always say like, oh, using summons is cheating.
I mean,
but I guess that's more like baked in versus like a glitch.
Yeah, I think this is more just about a mechanic that breaks the game completely.
I do feel like this. You could say that about like the magic in Elden Ring. Magic feels way easier.
I mean, I'll take your word for it. I haven't used magic at all, but
yeah, I
I've
guess
heard
how I guess the question is kind of how are we defining break? Like, are we
Yeah.
actually like glitching the game, or are we just finding something of like, hey, I found this one weapon that just makes it so overpowered the early
It
game is
sounds
just
like
nothing.
overpowered weapon more than anything.
So I guess like if we're trying to distill the
Okay.
question, it kind of comes down to like, if you know a certain way makes the game really easy, is the game itself just across the board considered easy now?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Especially if you have to like go out of your way to get to that easy part,
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
or it's like one really obscure thing. And if we go to like the class thing, the kind of one that John was just mentioning, it's like play as a magic user, the game's easy. It's like, yeah, but what if you don't want to play it? If you want to play one of like the 9 other classes or whatever.
Right. Like for Elden Ring specifically, because that's kind of what we're talking about just in general here right now. I don't want to play with summons, and I don't want to summon people, and I don't want to use magic. So, but if you do, I don't think the game is automatically easy for you. I think you're just playing it a different way, even if it is like an easier than how I choose to do it.
Right. And if we continue focusing on Elden Ring, the game even like, you know, all the enemies are different. Some are good against magic, some are not good against magic.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah.
gonna find a boss where it's like, oh, everything I was thinking of, nope, gotta change that up now.
I'm sure there's a boss that's like, oh, this is really annoying because I can't like cast anything. Then I'm just like, oh, that boss was easy because I slashed it and it didn't do shit and died in front of me like
Sure.
in a second.
Yeah.
So yeah. But like somebody was saying cheese strats or whatever. Does that make a game easier? I still think no, because you have to still learn the cheese strat and maybe hope it works depending on what it is. Like, I don't know. You're still trying to like do something to specifically like get past something a bit easier. So that it doesn't mean the game is easy. It means that you found a way to deal with it for you.
Yeah, and I guess it also kind of determines how easy is it to do that strat. Like, is it difficult to get into that position, or is it difficult to like get your character to that thing or whatever?
Like, it's not difficult to turn off your system, set the clock a week ahead, and then not have to fight the end. But
Right.
like, that doesn't mean that the game is easy because you can do that with that boss. It just means it's a different way to go
Well,
about
I guess
it.
the scenario in that would be if you could do that and you set the clock forward and you beat the whole game, would you then say that game is easy? No. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. That would be
agree.
hilarious.
I mean, that's just a very extreme version, but I was
Sure.
just trying to like make it more black and white. So
Yeah. And I mean, different people find different things easier, right? Like, people that need accessibility options will find most like normal things that we do with a controller probably impossible. So yeah, it all depends. No is the answer though.
All right. Suka writes in and says, do you own any cookbooks based around video games? If you don't and you had to get one, which one would you get? I actually got Reese the Final Fantasy one a while back. The Final Fantasy 14 one specifically.
Nice.
And I've had a friend actually make their own recipes that were themed around games and sent that to us as well.
Cool.
I was just actually thinking about these like a week or two ago. I think because like the Halo cookbook came out or something like that.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't see. Clearly, people are buying these because they keep doing it for like every game, but I do not understand the appeal of them at all.
I don't know. It's kitschy stuff that like gamers like. It's fine.
Well, so I ask maybe because it sounds like Paul, you don't have any of these.
No, I do have
Okay,
cookbooks, but yeah, no.
Sure. So I asked John, like, has Reese cooked anything from the Final Fantasy cookbook?
I think she has. I think she did one. Like,
was it like a weird thing or?
No, it's pretty normal food in the recipe list from what I've seen.
Yeah. So like, are these just regular cookbooks that they're calling gamer cookbooks, basically?
Well, no, because like, so in the case of the Final Fantasy 14 cookbook, like you're basically making food you see in the game, which is
Mhm.
traditionally just normal looking food.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess personally, I do not see the draw to these at all. But
Yeah.
they keep
I
making them, so there's clearly a draw out there.
I think if it's a thing that like gets somebody to actually try cooking their own food or whatever, I think they're fantastic for that. But like I don't need something like that myself, so I also don't really see the appeal for me.
I think I would like it more if it was like we're making weird food. Like here's a way to make a
There
weird
definitely
thing.
are those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
there
I
are
could
plenty of
then
those out
see.
there.
Yeah. Like, the peanut the peanut butter and jam and cereal sandwich from Deadly Premonition.
Sure. Yeah.
Linebeck writes, congrats, you have been given the power to restore the dead back to fully healthy living beings. And no, a genie was not responsible for this. Do
Okay.
you keep it a secret or
Yes.
make it known?
No, fuck no. Holy shit. You
Absolutely
do not.
not.
You
Absolutely
do not
You keep
let
that a
no.
secret.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't let
no
anybody
way.
know that.
You let the minute that gets out, you're gonna get the
You're done.
saddest people coming to you with the most heart-wrenching stories that you're gonna have to
Oh.
deal with that you've ever heard.
I wasn't even thinking
No,
that. I was
I'm okay
thinking
with
like
that.
I
Yeah.
was thinking they're going to be like, yeah, no, governments are going to come after you to
There
have
it
you
is.
resurrect like
Yep.
world leaders and like dictators and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone is going to
that's
come
true.
after you to bring back Hitler. Like this
Absolutely.
will
Totally.
happen. Do not tell people you have this ability.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't- Oh, so okay, here's the other question. Do you ever do it?
No.
I don't think you do it, right? Like this just seems like one of those like science fiction tales that you see over and over again, and the answer is always they shouldn't have done it.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Here's my problem. If I had this ability, I know me well enough to know that I would be too curious. I'd have to do it at least once.
Well, yeah, to figure it out, you probably would have had to have, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, again, like I've seen
Yeah.
the TV show. You're gonna do it once and then realize you have the power, and then by the end of the episode, though, you're going to have to either kill that person or that person's gonna have to be like, I can't be alive anymore. It's
Yeah.
like it's not the right, and you're gonna have
Yeah.
to watch them kill themselves. Nope. Nope. Or it'd be a weird thing where like things are comically falling on them, and you have to keep like pushing them out of the way because they're not supposed to be alive. So life is trying to kill them.
Yeah. Like a weird reverse Final Destination movie where you're
I would
just...
say a weird Weekend at Bernie's
Yeah.
reverse on that.
Yeah. No More Spiros writes, what's the earliest console generation you could port Elden Ring to? Graphical overhauls may be done. Core gameplay and content of the game must remain intact.
Ooh,
That-
okay.
yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say
fine.
like, well, Souls likes are on PS2, so I would say PS2,
Yeah.
even maybe PS1, as we've seen with the Bloodborne PSX port.
I think you could get away with PS1 if you wanted like a 50 disc game.
Oh yeah, because you could have a disc for every zone and then change
Yeah.
the actual loading.
Yeah.
But if you can, if grapple overhauls are fine, so you could like knock it down to 8-bit, aren't we kind of just looking at like Legend of Zelda 1?
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, if you look at it that way, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would just be like, it would be bigger and there would be more exploration as opposed to, oh, you need to do this dungeon to get this item first, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, technically you could say anything because you could make it a text adventure, right? Oh, no,
But
wait,
I
core
assume it says
gameplay.
it does say the
Yeah.
core gameplay and content to have to be intact.
So no, you would need a STEM system. You would need at least animation priority of some sort, if not
I assume that
Same.
also means it has to stay 3D in some way, shape, or form.
for core gameplay.
Well, it says
Probably.
graphical overhauls may be done, so I don't think it has to stay 3D.
I mean, that just means it could just be like low polygon models.
You might be able to do it on like an SNES.
Some mode
Oh, with like a
7.
Super FX chip?
Yeah.
Based on how much I've heard that those are a nightmare to work on and how little space they actually have, probably not.
Yeah.
I think PS1 era is pushing it to its absolute limit. PS2 I feel is the safest you could go back, and still it would still feel Elden Ring-ish.
Put it on the N64, then you can hook up that rumble pack to the back. Just cause you want to?
Man, what if you put it on like the PC engine or something? Like just something.
Oh, like the
just an
fucking
FMV, just an FMV version of it. Basically, you push a button to swing
that would
the
actually
sword.
be kind of neat, an FMV version of a Souls game.
It would be neat, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think. So with the gameplay of that, would it just be like,
decision making?
yeah, what's
Yeah.
the dragon?
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's
I was gonna
Lair.
say more like Radical Dreamers, where it's like a text-based adventure with like that describes things in great detail. Like you find yourself fighting a magma worm. What do you do? Roll, slash, or summon spirit.
Yeah.
So just like a verb style text adventure, I guess, at
Yeah.
this point. Or point and click adventure. All right, is it John? Are you next?
Yep. Phantom says, ahoy TDB crew, who are your favorite bosses in the Kirby franchise? Do exclude Forgotten Lands. I'm not aware of how far each of you are. I beat the first stage. So
I haven't even turned it on yet.
Favorite bosses. Galactica Knight's a classic. Mass DDD's a classic.
I'm gonna count Meta Knight because he is at some points.
Honestly, I can't even like remember that many Kirby bosses. I'm always happy when the tree shows up.
Yeah.
Wispy, yeah.
Wispy Woods or whatever.
I'll say Marks and Sectonia. I remember being kind of cool. So I'll say Marks and Sectonia.
Right. Hebrew Lantern. If a spider wore a sweatshirt, how would he wear it? Four
Oh my
arms in
God.
each sleeve? On each side, or like two on each side, or something else?
Sorry, I have to picture this. Hold on.
I think it would be two in each arm, four down the bottom.
It'd be two on each side, because then the other half would be the pants. The first two arms are for the sweatshirt, and then the last two arms are legs.
Totally. Yep,
I
you're
think
right.
So too. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, definitive
Solving
answer.
problems. That's what you come here for.
Yep.
Exactly.
Improving lives.
Spiders.
Dead right. There's a concept in life and video games where once you get used to the new and better quality version, it makes going back to the old version hard. This could be with graphics, controls, etc. Have you had it where the more you spend with a newer version, it makes it easier going back to the old version? And then examples, screen quality, controller design. So I've been having this problem recently. I've been emulating stuff on the Switch because of the N64 stuff with the expansion pack, and also on my PC. I hate playing N64 games without an N64 controller. It feels really shitty.
I was at the same thing. I was gonna say Banjo-Kazooie on the Xbox 360 feels weird, but it feels right with an N64 controller.
Yeah. So that's one. Every N64 game plays better on an N64 just because of the controller.
I don't think I have an answer. It's so rare I go back to games to like make sure, like, was this better or worse than what I'm playing right now?
When are they going to stock that fucking thing in the Nintendo shop? I've been like looking every week to see if that thing is available again.
Controller?
Yeah, that controller.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been restocked. It's annoying.
I could buy it on Amazon. People are selling it for $200 or $150.
Great.
Yeah, God, I
cheap.
hate scalpers. Jesus.
Yeah, only thing I can think of is just where the controls are different.
Yeah.
Last question comes from Rasterman7. I've recently finished a game of about 4 hours long without fully knowing what I was doing or why it was working. When was the last time you had something like this happen to you?
The quiet man immediately is like, I don't really know what's going on or what is happening, but...
That's why you need to play it again with all the audio put back in, because then it makes way more sense.
True, yeah.
I try to think. There's some game I played recently where there was just I kept doing something that like was a glitch unintentionally, but it made the fight way easier. Yeah. It's something I must have done on stream for game clearing, but I keep thinking it's Luigi's Mansion 3, but I'm not sure. But like it's like some game that just had that happen. So I'm just gonna say somewhat recently.
Nothing really is coming to mind for me.
Yeah, this is a hard question, honestly. I know I've
Usually
had
4 hours into a game, I know what I'm doing.
that's the thing, is that I know I've played a game before where I'm just like, okay, I guess this is working, and then it ends like, oh, that's the end. All right. I know that's happened. I can't think of what it was though.
That's going to do it for questions. Thank you, everyone, for writing in. If you would like to send in a question for next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
I guess Elden Ring, because it's basically all I played.
I guess Final Fantasy 14. It's a good one.
And I know for sure it is Norco for me.
Okay.
Some stuff to look forward to. We were supposed to do a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie podcast this last weekend, but Paul got sick. So we're going to instead do it
This weekend.
this weekend. And on top of that, the submission thread for the next TDP Plus game for May is live. So if you're in the top tier, you can go submit a game now. And with that, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Everybody.